And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a homecoming edition of This Week with our offense and defensive coordinators for the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. I have on the line with me none other than Coach Mark Frederick. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I dare not complain, sir. Congratulations. A well-oiled machine on Saturday. Although it wasn't the perfect game, but you had to be very pleased with your performance from the offensive side of things.
Yes, I was pleased. We watched the film yesterday as an offensive group, and the guys see, even though we had a lot of success, we still got stuff we need to work on. So every day is a grind for us to get better.
Yes, sir. Well, the question that I have, Coach, you got over 300 yards rushing in the first half. If I'm not mistaken, it was total like 406 yards just on rushing. How do you have enough balls to spread the love around, man?
Man, we got a great offensive line, and we got a stable of running backs along with Trayvon at quarterback. Those guys, they buy into it, man. They put the work in, and now you know they're seeing the fruits of their labor. And got a coaching staff on offense that does a great job of coming up with a game plan and saying, hey, this is how we need to attack them, and that's what we do.
Yes, sir. Now, with that being stated, although this was a team that's 0-6, now 0-7, this was an FCS opponent, not a quote-unquote cupcake opponent. How good does that make you and your unit feel knowing that you were able to execute on a team on the same level?
Well, anytime you get to go out and execute at a high level the way we did, I think it builds confidence. And with confidence, those guys, they play a little bit harder. So playing a team like Lamar, we didn't take them lightly just because of the record. And, we had a chance to represent our conference going against an outer conference opponent, which, the SWAC hasn't always fared well versus those teams. So it was great, man. It was great to get the win.
Well, I didn't know if you were familiar with this little tidbit, sir, but the last time Lamar played Prairie View was 2012, and Lamar beat Prairie View by a score of 31-0. Now, me being here for some many moons and some stars, I was very satisfied to see that result. And as a matter of fact, I'll make a confession to you now, Coach. During our pregame show for the broadcast on Saturday, I put it out there on the line that if we were not able to score at least 35 points, I was going to be highly disappointed.
Oh man! Okay. Well, I'm glad I was able to make that happen for you.
Yes, sir. Well, just knowing what you know about what you have, and I know you have to go out and play the games, but when you look at this team, and I'm talking about Prairie View, of course, on paper from top to bottom, this was supposed to happen. Not taking anything away from Lamar, not being facetious or arrogant, but this is why you grind in the summer camps. This is why you have your spring ball, and this was to be expected of a team of your caliber when you're facing a team who happens to be down now.
And that was something we had to preach to the guys. Look, don't play down to your opponent. Don't fall into the trap of, oh, man, they 0-6 and they not good. They had some talented players. Don't get me wrong. They had some talented players, and they played hard the whole game. We couldn't stop playing at no point in that game until the clock hit zeros. We had jumped up on them, and they still came back. And, our thing at halftime was, man, we got to come out and we got to play. We got to finish the way we started. That's our thing now. We got to finish the way we started. We started fast, and I think we finished fast. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was happy to see that.
Yes, sir. Well, we have a theme that we dubbed at the open mic, and it was, are you familiar with Mortal Kombat? I know you're a tad bit younger than I am, but there was a video game called Mortal Kombat, and the theme was Finish Him. And that was the theme for PV football, Finish Them. And off to a great start. Now this is behind you. You got to prepare now for a defense that I'm expecting to be a little bit more stiffer when you talk about the likes of Bethune-Cookman. They were in a shootout this past weekend with Mississippi Valley. Have you had a chance to see some chinks in the armor as far as your plan of attack for this week?
I usually don't look ahead. Now, some of the assistant coaches, they'll start breaking down the next opponent like on a Thursday and Friday as we travel or something like that. But I usually stay locked in on the team that we're playing. So yesterday I had a chance to look at them for the first time. And, man, they got some big players. They got some guys on that defense. I know the head coach very well, Coach Terry Sims. He's going to have them guys ready to go, man. Them guys going to be ready to play. They create some challenges for you. They play hard. They pursue to the ball. They do some great things schematically. So we're going to have to be on our A game and do what we're supposed to do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, this may sound a little crazy, Coach. Of course, Sims had some track record at Prairie View once upon a time. But when we talk about Bethune-Cookman and FAMU, although they're part of the SWAC right now, they still bring some of that MEAC flavor. And although this is considered a conference game, my approach is to handle this as an out-of-conference game as well, as far as the physicality that they bring to the table and the style of ball that they play. Are you trying to condition your guys to that manner as well?
Of course, man. Last year we went down there and played Bethune, and I'm going to just be honest with you now. They came out and hit us in the mouth. So we understand what they bring. We understand that they are very physical. And again, we can't expect them to come in here and lay down and think someone is just going to give us something. So we'll be prepared. We'll be ready, and can't wait to make the homecoming game.
Yes, sir. No doubt about it. Well, Coach, I know that you guys are busy and grinding, getting ready for Bethune-Cookman. It's homecoming week. A lot of extracurriculum is going to be going on, and you're going to have to be almost like herding cats almost to try to keep the young men focused and in vision for this week's opponent. But we do thank you so much, sir, and we're going to pause real quickly, and we'll try to get lined up now with defensive coordinator Todd Middleton. You listen to the Mike Prince Show special homecoming edition of the Coordinator's Corner. I guess what we'll call that, Coordinator's Corner. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Since 2002, the Open Mic Broadcast Network has been providing local and regional coverage for Prairie View A&M University, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, Blinn Junior College, Wharton Junior College, and Waller County, Texas high school sports. You can support the broadcasting coverage here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network by becoming a listening partner. Simply visit the website obnradio.com, and for as little as 17 cents a day, you can become a listening partner. That website again is obnradio.com. The voice of student athletics, serving the community through faith and athletics. The Open Mic Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our special Coordinator's Corner section this week for Homecoming 2022. Mike Prince here with you. We said we want to get to Mr. Todd Middleton, but we now have been blessed to have on the line with us Mr. Alvin Fosselman, Special Teams Coordinator. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing real well.
All right. Well, congratulations on not only last week's performance, but a season's performance. You've had these guys executing on all cylinders at one way or another from game one, which is special teams. And when I asked Coach McDowell what was in the secret sauce, he immediately said it was Coach Fosselman. What's in your sauce, sir?
I don't know about all that, but I definitely take that compliment from Coach Bubba. But it's just getting our guys to buy into what we're trying to do schematically, ensuring those guys that we play hard, letting them know that also special teams is a big part of what we're trying to do. And I think the kids have really bought in, and they're trying to get the job done of what we're asking them to do.
Yes, sir. Now, getting the job done, whether it was a block punt, whether it was a special return or whether it be a kickoff or a punt or even field goals. You're getting these guys to buy in. When do you know that you have that special somebody? Because usually guys kind of cringe and want to be on special teams, or they're considered so deep down on the chart that this will be the only way they get in, and their attitude is not always the best. How do you coach these guys up?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's a mindset. It's a mindset throughout out the building. The coaches alike have to also instill in these young guys that, hey, man, if you want to win around here, you have to also play special teams, all right? And then we have coaches like Coach McDowell and Coach Frederick who excelled on special teams and actually got shots in the pros and NFL because of special teams. So it's not just a saying. We actually believe that that's 1/3 of the game, and we got to get that part of the game done as well to be able to win games. So it's a mindset throughout the whole building.
Yes, sir. Now, we've been noticing that from our vantage point, you have, I'm going to say, a more than average field goal kicking attempts when you get out here. We've noticed as deep as 52 and 53 yards. What's the max range? And then what's the max range that you would feel comfortable out going into game situation?
Well, our field goal kicker can really hit it now. He can hit it. On the average, watching them practices, he can hit a 55-yarder with ease. In games, though, anywhere around 45 to 52, we feel comfortable about putting him out there and getting him a shot at kicking it. He has a really strong leg.
Okay. Now, those are once upon a time unheard of to even try a PAT in this conference, let alone, 30 and beyond field goal attempts. This conference has really advanced quite a way, and it's due to the special teams play, and that was before any other coaches arrived to the scene. When did you see the turn coming on really gravitating and putting more emphasis in special teams play in this conference?
Well, that's very easy. Like I say, when you have a head coach that can sit in front of the guys and tell them that he was an outstanding punt block guy, when he can sit there and tell them that, he got his shot because he was able to perform on special teams. When you got a head coach that can sit in front of your guys and let them know, this is who we are, this is what we want to be, special team is a big part of that. That makes everything, real easy for us.
Yes, sir. Now, you have a unique challenge this week coming up against Bethune-Cookman. A couple of returns, a punt return and a kick return, 4 touchdowns. And I know the importance of discipline, staying in your lanes. What are you seeing that makes Bethune-Cookman a big threat this week? They have some elusive guys, and we like to say with some returnability. Okay, they have some elusive guys with some returnability. And the main thing is for us is to make sure that we don't get relaxed. Make sure that we're playing hard at all times. Make sure that we're covering. Make sure that we're staying in the lanes like you said, but make sure that we got a great effort to that football. When he catches that ball, we all have to hunt that ball. We all have to get the ball down. And just be disciplined about what we're doing when we're covering. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, I'm not a coach, sir, and I didn't sleep at a Holiday Inn, but I do enjoy my football, right? And yes, I said that if I was to try to build a team from scratch, there are 4 full scholarships that I'm willing to give out. And with you being a special teams guy, you might appreciate this. A long snapper, yes, a place kicker, a punter, and a bona fide gunner. Woo. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You own it. We dedicate scholarships for those positions because, like I said, we think that those are important positions. And if we find a guy that we really like that we think can help us change games, it's definitely worth it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, we know that there's limited time with the hours that the NCAA has administered for practice. How do you get your emphasis across when it comes to special team practice and going over punt blocks and going over return setups? Is there a formula that you go through, or you just kind of grab the guys and get like this like a fire drill? Let's get it. No, sir. We are very organized, very articulate about what we're trying to do.
The time given allowed it for us to get special teams done. We use our time wisely. Guys are not waiting around on instructions. When it's time to go, it's already there for them of what we have to do, what we're going to do. And then also within our practice schedules, Coach Bubba makes sure he allows us enough time to get it done. And even if we have to run over a minute or so to make sure that we, get it done out the way that we want to, he's willing to make those adjustments for us. So we make sure special teams is, a big part of what we're trying to do.
Okay. Well, Coach, look, we thank you guys for making yourselves available. We know that you're pressed against the clock, and it's in particular with it being homecoming, and I know things are going to be chaotic and sporadic, but we got to take care of them Wildcats, and I'm going to jump out on a limb and say something's big going to happen on special teams, and I'm hoping it's more on the Panthers side than on the Wildcat side, sir.
Yes, sir. Go Panthers.
Go Panthers. That was, of course, Alvin Fosselman, special teams coordinator for the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. We're going to take another quick break, and I'm pretty sure we'll be able to have Coach Todd Middleton join us when we return. You listen to the Mike Press Show. Keep it right where you got it. We'll be right back.
People often ask us, when will we develop an app? And I've been telling them all the time, we already have an app right at your fingertip. That app is 857-777-0000. Save this number on your favorites, put it on your speed dial, and every time there's a live broadcast, dial that number, 857-777-0000. Serving the community through faith and athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas.
And welcome back to the special homecoming edition of the Coordinator's Corner. We got the last of the three-headed monsters this week, none other than defensive coordinator Todd Middleton. How you doing today, sir?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing quite well. Congratulations on a dominant performance on last week. If you could, sir, give us your assessment of what clicked and what still needs to be adjusted from your defensive side of things.
Well, I thought we came together better the second half. We got to do some things to shore up the run. I didn't think we played very good run defense, but, understanding the circumstances that we're under, we were very, very limited as far as our rotation and depth. So that definitely had an effect on it. We had a lot of guys taking abnormal amount of snaps. So we thinking, with everybody being back full strength this week, that should basically take care of itself. But we're still going to address our mistakes and identify what we did wrong.
Yes, sir. Of course, you're referring to the suspensions that were handed out by the conference, and best to get it out of the way, and that way you can move full steam ahead. With that being stated, sir, it was, I think, 420 yards of rushing, and I'll be quite honest with you, Coach, I got a little nervous toward the end of the first half when they scored the 14 points, and I was like, man, let's not let this, second half curse come upon us. But you pitched a shutout, man. And what was the message at halftime?
Well, I consider myself a godly man, and I didn't use any words that I shouldn't have used, but I did. We, as defensive coaches, we did get their attention, so to speak. So, and I will give the young men all credit is that they responded. They responded and played hard. It wasn't perfect, but they responded. There was a couple of adverse situations where they got down there close, and they rose to the occasion. So I just would say kudos to the young men that went out and just really, focused and did a more concerted job of doing their job in the second half.
Yes, sir. Now, when you have a game like this, Coach, and everybody's clicking on all cylinders, and is it hard to keep the guys grounded and rooted, especially from the defensive side, that you have such a strong, dominant game, that you got a quite capable team coming in this week that's going to be a little bit of an upgrade at what you faced last week. So what's your message to them as you move forward?
Well, this group is a veteran group. I think we've been down that road before, and we know that we can't take anything for granted. So it's a 1-week season. You want to focus on one practice, 1 week, and one game at a time. So I think that, we have a senior-based, I know front seven, just to continue with that focus and things that we need to do to continue striving to keep that going in the right direction. But I really believe that they understand that.
Yes, sir. Now, you've had a chance to get a glimpse at what the Wildcats are strong at and what are going to be, let's say, the top 3 assignments that you have to take care of to be victorious with Bethune.
Well, they're very athletic. They run well. Of course, I'm biased by them being from the state of Florida. So when you deal with Florida kids, you're gonna have to deal with the speed factor. Sometimes they might not look as fast on film, but you see them in person. They always have had speed. With me, have coaching against Bethune-Cookman for years. Coming here to PV from Florida A&M, so I've been on the losing side of plenty of battles with Bethune-Cookman. So, Coach Terry does a really good job. They get, very good players. They get some very good transfers, guys that want to come back home and play in the home state. So they're a talented group. I know they have the Everett kid, the big tight end is definitely a pro prospect. He has outstanding size and soft hands. He gave us fits last year, so we got to defend him. They have a real shifty running back, and then the quarterback, of course, started out as a Power 5 quarterback, so you definitely have to take him in account.
Yes, sir. Now, I spoke to Coach Frederick, I believe, a couple segments ago, and with you coming from FAMU, and you understand what I'm saying, although Bethune and FAM are part of the SWAC now, they still bring a bit of that MEAC flavor as far as the physicality and the type of players that they've been able to recruit. How do you compete up against that? And then what's your future plans to try to recruit some of those same type of players?
Well, definitely you like to, evolve and get the guys that fit into your scheme. With me and Bubba being Florida natives, we've always, like to have some Florida kids, but we understand Texas is our priority. That's the big thing. There's plenty enough players out here from Texas that can fill our roster, that can play for us. Now, you might get into some kids from Florida if you naturally recruit the junior colleges and transfers. That's where you can get your your players from other parts of the country. That's where that kind of comes into effect. But we're happy here recruiting in the state of Texas. We know there's great players here in the state of Texas. But there might be a couple certain situations where we have a definite connect there. We'll look into that, but we know where our bread is buttered, so to speak.
Yes, sir. And I'm going to put you on the spot just for a second, Coach. And you being a Floridian, you're in Texas. You have the states of Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and Arkansas. Prototypical, this is going to be a stereotype response, but normally what type of players are known for in each state that I've mentioned?
That's a great question. When you start talking about, next door Louisiana, you have, they don't have the sheer numbers, but those guys, they're elite guys, can play with anyone. If you look at Louisiana right now, they've been known for the great receiver. You're talking about, Chase and the young man and Minnesota. So the receivers have been outstanding in the state of Louisiana, and they also have great defensive backs that can run with great speed. But also, anytime you start talking about Deep South, you start talking about size. Big linemen that can run, athletic defensive linemen. They can run also. Where the state of Mississippi, They're going to have that big guy, the big girth guy that's wide and they can move. If you look at the, Mississippi State, LSU, even the elite guys that Alabama have come and taken, from Mississippi, they've been mostly big linemen. As you get into, Alabama, it's a little bit of mixture. Now, when you get into Florida, they do have big guys, but I think because of Florida being so close to the islands, and a lot of people with a lot of island background, you have those kids that are used to being outside and running, and that's where the speed factor comes in with the state of Florida, with the speed and the sheer numbers of guys that can put out outstanding times. You look at guys that weren't heavy recruited, like into Lamar Jackson. He wasn't a heavy recruit. He was like a 3-star. That went to Louisville, was kind of a second thought type of guy. The Florida schools didn't recruit Lamar Jackson. And look, he's arguably one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
Yes, sir. And what about the state of Texas?
The state of Texas has the mixture. Between Florida, Texas, and California, you're talking about sheer numbers, quality numbers. Anything about the state of Texas is that they invest so much money into coaching, into facilities, into supporting these young men. So, they have great confidence, but they've been coached at a high level, starting probably as early as the middle school level. So that's the thing that sets Texas out above everybody else. It's just a great state to coach in because they just love football here. And it's just preached in the community. Like, Coach Frederick has a little 6-year-old son, and, he plays for the Ravens. And, even right now they're talking about playoffs and, they got, homecoming and all type of things like that. So you just don't experience those things in other
So they come out talking about run me a go route, right?
We had the little Tykes. We had the little Tykes here a couple of years ago that was, I think out of San Antonio or somewhere where they had their own show. I mean, you would think it was a high school game at the support and banners and people showing up. And these are the little, and that's what sets, Texas. That's unique.
Okay. Well, Coach, I appreciate you answering the call on the spot right there. And I know you guys got a lot of Wildcats to keep examining throughout the course of this week. But things are looking good for the Panthers. And let me state this, Coach. I told Coach Frederick I got nervous when they scored the 14. And I said I needed a shutout in the second half. And by golly, you came with a shutout. I told them they need to score 35 at the beginning of the game, and they got well beyond that. So thank you for the shutout, sir, in the second half.
Well, I appreciate it. Like I said, it's not me, and these young men, and just pray we keep them going in the right direction.
Yes, sir. He is Todd Middleton, defensive coordinator for the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. We want to thank the other coaches that joined in with us, Mr. Alvin Fosselman, special teams coordinator, and Mark Frederick, offensive coordinator. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Thanking you guys so much for joining in with us. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter at The Mike Prince Show and subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.